back with a new episode of Planet Xbox Podcast. And I just realized last minute, that I'm currently not streaming to Mixer. I think we're actually on Twitch right now. I forgot to switch the podcast back to my stream back to Mixer. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Well, yeah. Thank you. But welcome to the show. Planet Xbox episode 8. Most of you guys watch it on YouTube anyway, but in order for me to get that back, I have to I have to stop the stream. But for those catch me on, or you could just catch it on Twitch for the first time. That should be interesting. But what's up, everybody? Welcome to Planet Xbox episode 8. We have a little bit of stuff to talk about. We want to continue the conversation from last week when we had the show was dominated by PlayStation guys, and it was a lot going on. Didn't really know how to handle the show with so many people on at the same time. So we're gonna get some of our thoughts out that we couldn't get out last week, and then we're also gonna talk about certain things that happened during the week. Obviously, Bleeding Edge just released. AMD supposedly got robbed and due $100 million. We're gonna talk about that, and obviously Xbox Series X. It looked like the CEO of Microsoft has pretty much confirmed that they're okay to ship for this holiday. So we're definitely gonna get into that, but before we get started, let's get to the intros. I am your host, the Best Spot Kid Smooth. We've had, good week. Bleeding Edge came out. That's the game I'm currently playing. Yeah. I've been streaming that on YouTube. I've streamed it on Mixer, and I streamed it on Twitch yesterday for the first time, and I will continue that later on this evening. We got a full house today. Chris Righteous, man, please let him know what's up, what you playing.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy to be back. It's your boy Chris Righteous, the pony of the podcast. Yeah, man, we're gonna get into stuff we couldn't talk about last week after all of us ponies broke everybody's jaws last week. But right now I'm playing Neo 2. It's a very great game. If you enjoy Neo 1, I highly recommend it. And yeah, let's get into it.
Awesome. And my boy, man, Coke Boy J, how you doing?
Doing good, guys. I'm just sitting back, watching a lot of the news, seeing what's happening with the stimulus bill, as well as watching my stocks and doing some gaming. So, being very productive at home.
Yeah, how's your stocks doing, man?
We're looking at some pretty good gains right now.
That's what's up. And Def Grits, man, how you doing, man?
What's good, Smooth? What's good, panel? It ain't much, bruh. Just gaming, shit, taking naps here and there, trying to keep a steady mind, steady hand. I was on Weapon Wheel last weekend, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, crispy flexing too much, man. I see you, bruh.
Yeah, and Nick Banks, man, how you doing?
What's good, y'all? This is Nick Banks. You can follow me on Twitter, on Xbox Live. And yeah, man, I've been playing. Smooth. I got back to playing Ori, man. Will of the Wisp, and I finally got a little further than where I was stuck at. Right now I'm over there by the Midnight Wells hills over there.
Yeah.
And man, the game opened up, man. And it's a little difficult, but I'm hanging in there right now. But I'm playing that and Bleeding Edge, and I'm having a ball playing Bleeding Edge, man. I don't know about you, but I gotta catch up with y'all, man. Look like y'all was getting.
I'm loving Bleeding Edge. Like,
I've been getting some L's in that, but I gotta link up with somebody.
Yeah, you can't play that game slow, and that's how long I will survive on the game, depending on how pretty much how long I can keep a crew. But I've been playing with BG, I've been playing with Meds, Addict, FC Violence.
Yeah, I watched that stream.
I don't have anything against it. Like I said, I could use some improvements in many locations and stuff they can improve. I'll try to have impressions or a review out sometime this week. The game, like I said, the game is fun. I enjoyed it. I've been enjoying it. Like I said, I can't play just solo like without a crew because it's just not as fun because you need communications. People got to pick the appropriate characters.
Right.
I'm still struggling as into because I all like to go and I treat the game as if I can go out and start attacking and I can't. I really use one character that's Nihagger. I try to mess with El Bastardo and I try messing with a few of the characters, but it's just I like Nihagger, and then I was practicing with the chick with the big thighs, and she like
you talking about the chicken
thunder thighs,
chicken leg.
yeah. She's like I was practicing with her. I was like, all right, I might give her a try tonight. And see if I can be successful with her in like actual games.
But she's a tank though. Like,
no, she's not. No.
She's not a tank?
No. You probably thinking of Buttercup.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I'm thinking about
the chick I'm talking about. She like throws like needles at you and
attacker.
shit like that.
And yeah.
She's So I tried her in practice mode, and I thought I could get a handle of that because she has range weapons, and then her close up seems to do like damage to it. She seems easy to control, but I can't use a tank. I thought I could, but I feel like when I'm fighting against them, I have problems, and when I'm using them, I have problems. But yeah, I mean, I've been enjoying the game. Like I said, there's some things they can improve, and that's like the overall speed of the game, which I'm pretty sure you guys all have heard that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like the speed
How's
of the
that
game.
dolphin? How's the dolphin
Well,
thing?
the dolphin not in there right now. That's going to be an update. Yeah. But right now they did announce that all DLC and upcoming like updates is going to be free. Like you're not going to be charged for none of that. It's so far. You know what I mean? Everybody changed their tune down the road, but so far everything is free. We don't know what the updates.
Yeah.
Shout out to Merc. Merc, playing Xbox coming to Twitch. This actually was an error. It was a mistake. It was supposed to be Mixer, but I never changed my multi-stream setup. So that's why it's here, and I don't feel like stopping the stream now to set it up for Mixer. So hopefully the people that typically watch me on Mixer understand. It will be
Mixer.
No. I'll be back on Mixer next week playing Xbox. But playing Xbox for sure. But I just don't feel like stopping it now because I was like, there's typically like maybe 6 or 7 people that watch on Mixer. And I mean I would go back and do it, but I'll figure something out. But what else? The game. So this overall speed of the game needs to improve. I feel like the cosmetics are a bit lazy. Like you could switch everything up, but it's not super custom.
Good? So I'm saying like so does each character, do they have like unique looking things to them, or is it just kind of like a stock thing across like every character gets kind of like a variation of the same thing?
No. I mean, they don't get anything extra. Just colors change, like the color of their costume and stuff like that. Of like their clothes. The things that you can do that I think is cool. It's like changing the board and then adding a trailblazer behind your board. You could change how dramatic that is. Like I got bubbles coming out of mine, and it makes like a water sound. You can change the board. You can add stickers. You can customize that stuff. But I feel like there's a level of deep customization they can do. There's a lot of like, of course you can do obviously animations like emotes and stuff that you can get. None of this you have to pay for with cash. You all earn all in in-game currency and just by playing. The one thing I do like about this game, you can 100% complete it in terms of achievements. I'm halfway to that point. I'll play a couple of games. A couple more games tonight. I'll be 80% in the achievement thing because it's like I've been having fun.
Smooth is out here, man. He
Fun with
grinding.
that game, bro. And like I want to play, yo, bro. I almost canceled the podcast and be like, hey, can we just do a live stream with Bleeding Edge? But I figured not to hold the squad in.
But Smooth, we gotta talk about this though, bro.
Yeah,
Like, I was watching y'all stream,
Yeah.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Like, I actually was watching BG stream, and my man was getting attacked, fam. Like, he was getting attacked for playing the game, dog.
Yeah. All right, yeah, we definitely gonna talk about that.
Smooth too. They were talking about how Smooth will go off on his own and get jumped all the time.
Yeah. Oh no, you guys talking about different things. All right, so Chris is talking about the play style, how people were get upset with me because I would go off and try to fight people, and I would get killed because I'm fighting like 4 people and I'm not following the team. Nick's talking about how BG's like literally because he didn't call the game trash.
Yeah,
it
was a
Meds
problem.
Too. The guy,
Meds,
shout out to Meds.
Yeah,
shout out to Meds.
Because the game they're giving the game a little bit of credit. Like they find the game fun. Sure, it's just because they're not calling it trash or doing what they're not crackdowning the game. They're not thieving the game. They're not state of decaying the game. They think that they're like damage controlling and that they're like it's like they're getting a whole lot of crap for it, and it's like it's the weirdest thing when it comes to Xbox games that it like everybody in the crumb side or on Twitter and YouTube you have to have this universal opinion that Xbox games are trash or you can't like it.
Gamers.
Like their followers.
Yeah, it's like these guys on the internet, they've been so accustomed to being babied and like I got so many people that follow my opinion, I could just cling to them. You know what I mean? They've been so accustomed to like having people like clinging to opinions that align with their own that when it finally doesn't happen, it's like they're having like a mental breakdown.
Like their world breaks down.
Yeah, their world breaks down. And
last week was a perfect example of it. It's like when we were mentioning how Microsoft purchased studios. And like that's what they're supposed to do. You can't just downplay that and expect everything to be the same from one generation to the next. Like they had to do that. They had to promote their console.
And none of that matters.
None of that matters.
Yeah, cool, but shout out to those guys though that came. But it's when you're on one side, you ain't gonna see the same thing we see. So
like, but that's kind of like that. That's kind of not true because it's like in a way, it's like we can see from their side, even though we're on this side. If that makes any sense, like I could see why games are good on PlayStation. I could see that their companies are capable companies. I can see that. Like that's not argument. Like I'm not arguing that when we get into these discussions. This is like when we say that something has gotten better compared to let's say 2013. It's like somebody gouged their fucking eyes out and just like took all logic away from them. They're like, no, it's the same Xbox.
They try to reverse engineer the entire argument.
Like you just like, come on, bro. Like
the one thing that's why my Chris, my man, you know what I mean, he don't see the same thing. But no, one thing I was trying to say that because everybody was saying the same thing that day, you know what I mean? I'm just like, hold on now, like, you know what I mean? Like we always say wait and see until it comes to Xbox. It's like, nah, they counted out. Like this one generation is over with. Like, you know what I mean? Even though these, Nintendo and Sony been through so many downs and ups, like Microsoft don't get they don't get no turns. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I've always said that I believe that Xbox is gonna do better this coming up generation than last generation or this generation. You know what I mean? Because I could see them putting in efforts. You know what I mean? They're not like I said before, they're not compromising on the hardware like what they did back in 2013. They compromised the hardware for the Kinect. They purchased studios. Some of those studios are really good, like Obsidian. And even though I don't like, and I've said this before, even though I don't like Ninja Theory, I'm not going to discredit that they can potentially, make a great game, 90 Metacritic or high 80s, 90 Metacritic game. So I do see Xbox doing better next generation. I still believe that Sony's still a stronger brand when it comes to worldwide.
Oh yeah,
they're still gonna dominate. But as long as Xbox does better and it's giving Sony, some competition rather than no competition, like this generation, in my opinion, to me
Mm-hmm.
it's a win for Xbox because you know what I mean. If they do better than the last generation, then it's a W for them, in my opinion.
Yeah,
For
but
sure.
that's logic, Chris. Like that, like you're literally that's logic right there. What you just said. Like we already know that Sony and Nintendo have a worldwide, like they've been here since like day one in a way. Like they're like the last. They've survived. You get what I'm saying? Like they've had a major impact in gaming for like a good grip right now. Microsoft, like they came in and I mean like they did good a little bit with the first 360 was kicking ass. Xbox One kind of like a failure. It's just like that's just facts. But it's just like to ignore that like these people they have the support and they have the backing. And when people tried to jump down my throat, they're like, Microsoft is a really big company. Shit, if you can't do anything, well, the like just to jump out of gaming, what type of mindset is that? Like to
Yeah,
kill a
Yeah.
whole fucking community off
Yeah.
just because
Yeah.
like they're
and people,
not
yeah,
delivering specific things for you. Like they're
Well,
still appealing to
the same
somebody.
thing happened if you guys pay attention to the computing space. The same thing happened to AMD for like a good
Yeah.
like 4 to 5 years when Intel was just dominating, and Nvidia was able to capture huge market share as well. So like they were in the gutter, stock prices in the gutter. Nobody liked AMD, but when they released their Zen 1 architecture, a lot of people who weren't like fanboys but were very objective started to see the potential of what AMD can possibly do. And now we see them now, how successful they are with the CPU space and how they're transitioning that same success to the GPU space.
Yeah.
So like this happens all the time within markets, and it happens with gaming, it happens in
Yeah.
a lot of different spaces. So people just need to understand that when you see a company making that shift in terms of leadership and direction, and they're actually making the right moves into marketing their next product and
Mm-hmm.
making it something solid so that everybody can enjoy it, you
Yeah.
have to recognize that. You can't just downplay it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funny
Like that's
thing.
oh good.
Nah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, like it's just like these things fluctuate, like you said, like in all of these facets of entertainment and all of that, like these things fluctuate. Like you may have some fucking Disney movies that come out and they bangers. You may have some that's trash. Like it just fluctuates.
yeah,
Like it
exactly,
happens. Like
exactly.
Sony
Yeah,
is not always consistent. Neither is Nintendo. Like we've seen it. Like we've literally lived through it. So like this shit happens. So it's
yeah,
just like to run with a narrative and say that Sony has just released bangers their entire fucking existence. You're lying and you're delusional. Just like with saying Nintendo, like yeah, now they have their flagship shit. They just always hits. But it's just like that took time to get to. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, like
And it's
The
just
Wii U wasn't like
yeah.
the greatest thing in the world, and they learned from that lesson. And then you see the Switch and how impactful the Switch is right now, how fast they move units.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane, and like it's one of my favorite systems, honestly, to own. Just going to different people's houses, we'd bring out Switches, play Mario Kart, Mario Party, stuff like that. Like it's just an amazing like home family console where you can just play with a lot of people in the living room. It's great.
and people,
Yeah, and
and
Exactly.
people gotta, and people also gotta understand that just because something happens before in the past, it doesn't mean it's gonna happen again. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people, I hate when people do that. When people will bring up, well, back in 2013 they did this, so in 2021 they're gonna do the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
no, you don't know that. Like things change all the time. You can't just keep just because one company was trash back then or was real good back then doesn't mean that that they're gonna stay like that or they're gonna keep making the same
The
mistakes.
fuck?
You know what I mean? And
Yeah, facts.
I don't like when people are doing that. So when it comes to Xbox, like I said, I do believe that they are taking, they've been doing a hell of a job as far as communicating with the consumers and the players about their next generation consoles, or the Series X, better than Sony has with the PS5, right? But Sony still has time. You know what I mean? These consoles still
Yeah,
come
Yeah,
out
yeah.
for
that's what I've been
7 to 8 months.
telling people
but
too.
So
They have
they
a
still
lot of
got
time
time.
to
Yeah,
do a
they still have
marketing
a lot of
strategy.
time
and along with that
to
though,
market.
like Chris, like you know what I mean, like they not trying to come into like they got slaughtered by the media and and all these articles. 1080p will make you a better gamer. This is how we say games. Blah 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 blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Things are
Sony's been
different
through this
now.
shit before too. Yeah.
Right. So you do have to kill the narratives. And if you watch closely, like that's what Phil Spencer been doing since the beginning. You know what I mean? Since he came in, he been killing the narratives. You feel me? You can't talk about resolution no more. You can't talk about, you know what I mean, that they don't have first party. He said he's working on first party. He got first party. You feel me? Now, you know what I mean? To be honest with you, Microsoft don't make games. Developers do. You know what I mean? Sony don't make games. Developers do. You know what I mean? They got good rep rapport with developers. Now, like a famous, like a good quote from what's his name? Guy from IGN, the Xbox guy. What's his name?
I know who you're talking
dude.
about. Yeah. I know who you're talking about. I just forgot his name.
Well, McCaffrey. All right. So
yeah.
He
Ryan
was saying,
McCaffrey.
like, you know what I mean? When God of War came out, he was like, yeah, people wondering how Sony did this. Their studio's been doing this for, you know what I mean, been working on this for years. They put in work pretty much. You know what I mean? He was like, you know what I mean? They firing all cylinders right now. He said, you know, and Phil Spencer replied to him. And he said, studio's taking time. The hardware is taking time, but he's dedicated. You feel me? Like pretty much. If you go back and look at that tweet, you know what I'm saying? And it spoke volumes. And that's when I looked. Because at first I was talking about Phil, like, yo, what the fuck is Phil doing? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I see it was like an IRA account. You know,
yeah, you have to. It's a long-term plan.
Yeah,
He
it's more of a long-term investment. Like, you know,
why are you gonna blow your load on this current generation when we have new hardware coming out anyway?
And I can't be mad at that. You know,
like when you've already kind of like fucked yourself up. It's just like when these people run with this same narrative of just like, okay, the 2013, they're going to repeat the shit that almost ended them. That makes no fucking sense. Like you have to readjust, you have to reconfigure, you have to recalibrate and figure out, okay, these were the things that fucked us up. We were not prepared studio-wise, first-party studio-wise at that, to be out here trying to sell consoles or sell a platform. We weren't ready with that. The messaging was muddy as hell, and we tried to package it in with a peripheral that like a lot of motherfuckers didn't even care for or even use for the most part. So it's just like, why would you say, oh yeah, they did this in 2013, they're gonna do it again? Do you know how dumb you sound? That's like me jumping into a ring, getting my ass beat, looking at the tape and being like, damn, I know what I did wrong. Go back for a rematch and do the same thing. Like, it's just like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, that is so to apply that to a company that like they weren't getting the funding, they didn't have the funding to purchase studios. When Phil Spencer got in that seat and he got the bag and he started making these moves, those are all long-term changes. So to say that like, oh yeah, like they're buying studios, but they're not making games. That's what the fucking studios are for, you idiot.
But Death Grips, like we on the other side, like we when the PS3 was going through all that, we didn't even like a lot of those hardcore PS3 fans, you know, they stuck with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I apologize for that, but we don't know what was going on over there either. So, you know, I mean, that's why I don't get too crazy.
I remember PS3 clearly, and the initial launch of PS3 and a lot of what they were trying to do didn't pan out really well initially. So, like with PlayStation Network versus Xbox Live at that point in time, like Xbox Live was revolutionary. They capitalized on the experience from like Halo 2 and that social experience and just made an entire interface around that.
Yo, this is the first
generation. That changed a lot of things.
Coke Boys. This generation I bought a PlayStation this early in the generation. I said this last time, but I'm dead ass serious. Like Horizon Zero Dawn is my game of the generation so far. Like it's a bad thing because I'm a Halo fan. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, what's going on?
Like you see, the thing is, what made me get the PS4 and when I started playing all those fucking games was God of War. Like I literally got the collector's edition. I put a 2 terabyte SSD in my Pro, and like I set up like a goon with that shit. Like I was like, this is going down. Like, cause I didn't care about the first God of War games. Like I really did. Like they looked cool. Like I watched people play them. But when they got to this one, I was like, this is dope. And then
Yeah.
I actually played The Last of Us. I played through all of the Uncharted's. Like I played Bloodborne. I played like I played like all the flagship jumps that motherfuckers ran with. They was like, yeah, this thing is great.
Happy birthday to Bloodborne. Happy
Yeah.
birthday to Bloodborne.
Shout out.
Well, it came out in March of 14 or 15?
It came out yesterday.
15.
Uh,
You said
2015 though, right?
24th.
24th.
Yeah, 20.
Oh, you saying
24th.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was
Bloodborne
like,
special.
It was the anniversary yesterday.
yeah.
Mhm.
So it was like, I mean, like I played all them jumps and like I had a blast. But then like some of these games would handle things like similar to other games, and it's kind of like the same way that like Nintendo people like they be like with the whole Breath of the Wild thing, should it be like, oh man, like games that came out after or before it, they all copied Breath of the Wild. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And it's just like, just because something has similarities, it's like, yeah, this is Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, those
Like,
dudes
it
were
doesn't-
just, they were too amazed about that game. Like I love that game. Like I have it. It's a different experience in terms of
Yeah.
open world from what I've had from other games, but you can tell that there's elements from that game that was inspired by previous titles as well. So they
Oh,
can't
yeah, of course,
they
yeah.
can't take that claim like, oh, like Breath of the Wild did this and every other game afterwards have done
Yeah.
like they copied it. Like you clearly haven't played
No.
open world
Like
games
dudes are
before
weird.
that.
And
Yeah.
they
Nah,
can't
yeah, 'cause
elaborate
Breath
with these
of-
claims though when they say this
'Cause-
shit. When they say like a lot of claims, like they can't elaborate and clarify like clearly and coherently what the fuck you mean. So they'll just be like, no, son, shit, this
'Cause I love-
this Breath of the Wild.
Nah, I love Breath of the Wild. That's like one of my favorite. It's like in my top 2 like game of the generation. Like but I'm a big, huge fan. That's the only reason why I still buy Nintendo consoles, only for Zelda. That's the only game.
I used to be a big
I
Zelda
ever buy.
head.
The thing with Breath of the Wild is it absolutely took a lot of elements from games before. You could clearly see the the Skyrim influences,
Yeah.
influences from other games.
But Chris,
they
thing
don't
about-
give
but
props.
Zelda, Zelda
I know,
always-
but hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. The thing was like, what Zelda does, or what Nintendo does, right, is that, yeah, they'll take inspiration and ideas from other games, but when they do it, man, they execute it like really, really well.
Yeah, it's
That's
amazing.
what Zelda,
Word.
yeah, and that's what Breath of the Wild does. It took a lot of ideas, but then it also added its own spin to it, and really executed it extremely well. Like I can't wait for Breath of the Wild 2. That's the only reason I haven't got rid of my Switch until Breath of the Wild 2 comes out. Then bye Switch until the Pro comes out or the Switch 2 comes out.
Yeah, which
see,
I'm actually gonna put like a comprehensive document out about Switch Pro, what I've been seeing like since last year up to now, because there's been a lot of like whispers about it, but there's only been a few people that I've seen that covered it, so I'll go more in detail like in the future podcast about it.
No, I've seen some folks like talk about it, but they just don't believe it, and it's just like they do like dabs into it. But it's like, I mean, that's how I feel about the Witcher. Like with what y'all said, like I feel like that executed everything for me that kind of like got me into gaming to begin with. It captured kind of like that detail, like when I sat up all night and played like Metal Gear Solid, and like I was just so enamored with the story and like the characters and the world and like all of that shit. Like I was just like, I feel like that captured it in like so much. Like it's fucking magical, and like I still have to go back and beat it again because like I'm going to, but it's just
Yeah,
like
it's all encompassing. There's so much content. It's such an
Yeah,
immersive
it's-
world. There's so many different quests you can do inside of it. Like games like that
Jesus.
is what pull you in. And
Yeah.
some people get so pulled in that they don't understand the correlation with certain elements of that particular game and other games and where it gets inspiration from.
So it's like, I mean, when I get these comments, it's just like, I mean, even my brother's sick of hearing this shit. It's just like, I mean, and he's a Nintendo Sony fan, and it's just like, bro, like every game is not this or that. Like you need to be clear on like when you're stating these things, so like people just don't think you're like going full retard or some shit. Like
Said Breath of the Wild is a Skyrim clone.
Yeah.
I tried playing Breath of the Wild, but honestly, I like open world RPGs, action RPGs, or like like that. It was what came out. It was Zelda and I think Horizon Zero Dawn came out like maybe a week apart. I played them both. I enjoyed obviously Horizon more. I tried to play Zelda and I was watching on YouTube what all the people did different ways, all different things people were doing with Link.
Did you see the comparison with Link jumping and Aloy jumping?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of depth behind.
I still like Horizon better.
Breath of the Wild. I ain't gonna lie. There was a lot. I mean, I didn't enjoy the game, but I know
it was funny.
I didn't really have anything negative to say about it. But
it's a time investment.
It had a lot of. That's why I loved it so much, because when it comes to open world, it has so much freedom and flexibility to pretty much you can you can think of anything you want to do. Like I remember one time, like there was like an ice river that I couldn't cross by swimming, or else I'll freeze to death. So I seen a tree right alongside of it. So what I decided to do is I decided to chop down the tree. Then I froze the tree in time with the little tablet you get.
Yeah.
Then I hit it a couple of times with the axe. I got on the tree, and then when the time unfroze, it literally flew me across the river. So it's like a lot of cool things like that. And plus, like from the beginning, you can go straight to the final boss and beat the game. And you don't and you can go anywhere, like in any order. There's no set path or order or right order that you have to go to. That's one of the things that I loved about Breath of the Wild that you don't really get with a whole lot of open world games. Like usually you get there's open world games where you can go anywhere, but it's still kind of linear and it's like
like a GTA. That's how I feel about GTA.
Yeah.
5. GTA 5 is very linear.
There's like a story that it kind of like it. Yeah, when you're dealing with like linear, like Breath of the Wild, like I can say that it's not linear, but there have been games that have like allowed you to go to the final boss, and it is a slog to kind of like complete that, but they're still giving you the option to do so. But it's just like to ask that from a linear game where they're trying to tell you a focused story is just like it's
not just that. Yeah. Like when I look at Breath of the Wild, right? Like what Chris said, like there's a lot of subtle nuances in terms of like the mechanics with the game where like there's so many different things you can do to get to one destination.
Oh
and that's the difference between a game like that, a Witcher, or something like GTA where it's just like here it is. Just this is it. You're very limited in what you can do. Like you can inside Breath of the Wild, you can literally light grass on fire and like fly away to some like mountain or something like that and do some crazy
shit. It's like a hot air balloon.
Like
I'm hip. Like
it's crazy. Like I don't know, man. We need more games like that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, man. As far as open world games, like, cause we have a ton of open world games, but a lot of them don't really give you like a lot of them have the illusion of freedom, but it's not as much freedom as like a Breath of the Wild or even like a Skyrim.
Like their world
it's very controlled.
Yeah, like their world sets in boundaries within that world in the story that they're trying to craft. The thing about Zelda is that like you could do all of these things mechanic wise, and I mean like it really fits that world of like what they're trying to tell you, like that story, and like these mechanics have been used before, but just in a different way with Zelda. So it's like they just built upon these mechanics just better for this game. So like it makes sense, and it's just like I mean you still have certain games like that. Like I feel like some of I forgot like not Pillars of Eternity, but it's like because I'm playing that too at the moment. But it's like some of these worlds will grant you freedom to approach certain tasks, a certain way, to complete it a certain way, like that you want to, and it's just like. What I liked about The Witcher was like the world that it built around you. Like you weren't some important person per se. Like you were like a bounty hunter and shit like that. Not like a monster hunter.
Yeah.
And it was like what it really built around that. And it's like you're really insignificant to the larger world around you. And like I really dig that.
Even a game like that, like Dying Light, I felt like that in Dying Light where it's like there's this massive like area that you're involved with, but there's a lot of other shit that's happening at the same time.
Yeah.
And a lot of what you're doing doesn't really have a greater impact on it because there's still a zombie apocalypse that's happening.
Yes. Like I love that. I've played so many games from like my childhood to now. Like where you kind of just discover, like you notice the tropes and shit. It's just like you're always the center of attention, and I kind of hate that. Like I would just want games to be like to throw you into a world in which like you're not like directly changing every fucking single thing. Like I mean, like you could change certain things here and there, but they're not like on like a granular scale. Like it's not like, yeah, like you just killed this rabbit, now the whole fucking environment changes. It's like
Yeah.
that shit is crazy. Like I don't like that. Like that's just me. Like I don't like. Because I can say that Breath of the Wild really did do some cool stuff with like traversal. Like I could say that like the whole
hopefully
like
the
that,
next
that glider thing is like this.
Yeah, hopefully
really cool.
Hopefully the next Fable draws a lot of inspiration from Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah. If they make a brand new Fable game,
glider.
I just want an open world Fable game where
yeah, like
I can just do like a lot of different stuff, whole bunch of side quests, main quests.
Yeah.
I
Just
wanna,
massive.
Yeah, and Fable's all about choices too, like you can fight
for sure.
or neutral.
I
want
a serious tone Fable though. Like Fable is they were all like really goofy.
Yeah, like but they shouldn't take away like that aspect of like because I feel like that game Fable really did it better than most. Where like you did like bad shit or you did good shit, and you would get the disfigured character,
humor, right?
Huh?
Like that's what you're talking about, Smooth. Like more like darker humor, which Fable kind of was dark humor in a way.
Yeah, I mean,
like it was just the whole chicken kicker thing.
Like you can marry like. You can get a wife, marry her, have a kid with her. Like Fable is crazy. I love Fable.
So,
I love
like
Fable
you could get crabs in that joint. I think you get like chlamydia in that joint. You could be having sex with like a bunch of people, bro. Like,
the game is crazy.
Yeah, that joint is fire.
I tried to play it backwards compatible. My thing is the game to me it didn't age well. Because
playing it, I like it.
Like playing it today, like playing it now. Like for example, like when you try to boot up the backwards compatible game, it's just like just to get myself familiar, like with it because back when Fable was hot, like when Fable 1 came out, that was the OG Xbox one. I didn't play it. I didn't play it until you could play the anniversary on 360 and of course Xbox One. And then Fable 2 and Fable 3 came out. I think I purchased Fable 2. Like when during the 360 era, but I've never completed it. So that's why I was like, I try and go back to like to play them. It's like, man, these games didn't age well. So, but from what I did see of it, it was like, I'm pretty sure I can get through it, but I want something. I'm the type of person that like with video games, I need to be stimulated often. This is why I fall like I'll try like games like I'll try like a game like for example I played Oblivion, right? And like I played it actually for a while and I forgot why I dropped it, but I think I dropped it because I think it was at that time it was overwhelming and I just wanted to complete the game and I would find myself going through the gates of Oblivion and like messing up these like demons and stuff like that, and then I would get to one and they're messing me up and I'm like, oh, what do I need to upgrade? I got too much stuff. I accidentally robbed something and I got the guards after me, and then so
that's what I did with Skyrim. Like I dropped Skyrim. I didn't know. I couldn't really like get immersed into Skyrim like I thought I was gonna be. So like I dropped that game. I don't know. Like I got to a part in the game where I was going up a mountain and some dragon just like murked me out of nowhere, and I was like, "What the fuck just happened?" And I just like turned off the game and uninstalled it.
So many hours into Skyrim, bro. That's like 600-700 plus hours I put into Skyrim, like on 360 alone. Like it was like I still haven't bought it again, but I'm going to. But it was just like that. Like I was so into that world because I was just like I didn't even complete the main story. Like I was just doing side quests and finding shit to just wander through. Shit, I started Oblivion as well recently.
Was really good. I like a matter of fact, I like Oblivion. Well, my favorite one is actually Morrowind on the original Xbox.
Oh,
like that was the first one that I played when I got my original Xbox. Was the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind.
I haven't even started that one.
And so when I saw Oblivion, right, like for the first, like I remember watching that first commercial with Oblivion, and I see the graphics and how much it improved from Morrowind. That's when I was like, yeah, I definitely need to get a 360, man. Like the 360 was like the first console that I got because it was cheaper and because it came out like a year earlier, so I had more games. And then I had like those exclusive games where at the time, you know, they were timed exclusives, but nobody knew that at the time, right?
Yeah.
You had your Mass Effect, BioShock, and freaking Elder Scrolls, man. Like that's the Xbox. See, that's the Xbox I want back. I want
Saints
that
Row
Xbox.
1. Oh my God, Saints Row 1.
But we
is
don't need timed
underrated.
exclusives. We need like exclusives. Like, but
The
like I
game.
get what you're saying. Like it's
But it could be, but that would help, man. Like, yo, if they get like a couple of big third party time exclusives, maybe not save time exclusives right away, you know, until after it comes out. Yo, that can get a lot of people on board. You know what I mean?
no, they gotta be clear about it. Like that's what I don't like is that like when these things are timed exclusives, and both companies have done it. Like where it's like when things are timed exclusive, like they don't say so it kind of like forces your hand. But then shit is just like, I mean, why not just say it outright? So it's like for the people who are already there, like they get it, they understand it. Shit is just like a lot of people like they'll be waiting on games and it'll come out like a year or like 6 months later, and it's just like, oh, it's coming to this now. It's just like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I don't like that. Like, I want messaging.
Yeah,
to
but
be
if the
clear.
game,
like,
if the game was great and you couldn't wait for it and invested it, like to me, I wouldn't be mad. Like like it doesn't bother me. Like if it was a game that I really wanted to play, right, and so I ended up buying a console for it, and it was really good, and I felt like it was worth it, even if it came out like a year later somewhere else. Like
Well, you
it
know,
wouldn't bother me.
they're gonna need them. They're gonna need them third party, you know, what I mean, exclusives. Because from what I can see, like the 360, man, like that's where a lot of those, like you know, that's where Hello Games came from. All of those was in Xbox Live Arcade, bro. Like
That's why the 361
yep,
was because of the third
exactly.
party.
You
361
catered
because of the third party. You know what I
exactly.
mean? With
So
a
I'm
couple of
not.
great exclusives, like I mean, of course, Gears of War and Halo were like the biggest things at the time. That
yeah.
helped push too. But when it came to like third party, like what I mentioned, like those timed exclusives, like Mass Effect, BioShock, and
Yeah,
Oblivion,
Yep.
yeah.
and on top of that, the Call of Duty marketing rights
Yeah.
that put like Call of Duty pushed the
Yeah, Call of
360
Duty was
more
just
than
different,
anything.
man. Jesus, like I
But
remember
you know,
playing
at the
Black Ops
same,
1 on 360 versus PS3, and
yep,
Jesus,
it was crazy.
that game
But
looks
you,
totally different on PS3 than
but you know
360.
what's crazy? Imagine if Don Mattrick would have had the mindset of Phil Spencer. We would have had BioWare, Respawn, all of these. He wouldn't. He took that money and
You
he
mean
bought
BioWare?
Connect.
That's what you said.
Yeah, BioWare. That's what I meant.
Did you say BioLand?
BioWare. Yeah, I had a little angry orchard. Hold up, man.
Yeah, because at the time, BioWare was independent. Like
Yeah.
like EA purchased them after. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like Mass
Right.
Effect. So
Okay.
man, Microsoft should have bought them early on,
That's
bro.
what I'm
I know
saying.
Phil
About them
Spencer.
early.
All I'm
He
saying.
sits back in his bedroom at nighttime thinking about that. Like, God damn this
Okay.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? He probably did. But you know what's crazy about that? Like I was trying to tell a dude last podcast, like, yo, like even Crap Gamer tried to tell me, like, yo, we had first party studios. Phil killed them. Like, yo, it was Microsoft. But it was Microsoft Entertainment. It wasn't Xbox Live Studios. It was Microsoft Entertainment, and they was all making fucking Connect games, avatars, and you know what I mean. Don Mattrick invested all that money into Connect, and he forced. Rare even came out. Remember the article, Smooth? We went over that a couple times. Rare came out and said they wanted to work on another Killer Instinct, but Microsoft wouldn't allow them to. Like you know what I mean? Like, and now when people hearing that Phil letting them do what they want, like you never know what's gonna happen.
And
Like,
that's why leadership
this
is
is why
important.
This is why I'm a little bit like I don't know yet. Like I'm on the wait and see. Like Chris say, that's my man Chris. That's his little saying.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Know?
Here's my beef, right? When it comes to like people, oh, we got to see the content. First of all, like the thing is, you know, they've been teasing games. Like, We've seen like 4 of them like already. Like the other thing is that people they'll be like, oh well, like they'll put their they'll put Xbox. Oh, Xbox has to do this, that, and the third, right? But they're saying this as if PlayStation is constantly giving us hits, and you guys are still living off the high of 2018. Yeah, if you think about it, like we're still living up of 2018. Like, I mean, of course you got obviously, but if there was no Last of Us 2 and Final Fantasy in sight, you would still be living on the high of 20. But because those games coming, you have something to be anticipated for. 2019 was a complete wash for me on the PlayStation side.
Well, yeah, that's for you, not for me.
You come out.
To me, those great games on PlayStation in 2019. The thing is, it's like those games didn't really get like highly praised like the ones in 2018, like God of War, Spider-Man, like Days Gone, had a lot of mixed reviews, right? It got like low 70s. And I wasn't even interested in that game at first, and I didn't even buy the game till like 7 months later because I was never interested in it. But I got on the sale for $20. And when I actually played it, I was like, yo, this game is actually really good. I don't know what people are talking about. Like, I really enjoyed it.
That's I got the collector's edition.
Right? Death Stranding, I was always waiting for that game. And that's another game, right? Like,
I wasn't.
Like,
hey, Death Stranding,
that game is actually good. It has good scores. It's in the it's like 82.
Predicting the future out here.
You know what I mean? So, and then now Neo 2 just came out. And then plus you had Judgment last year, which was like,
I want to play Neo 2.
So it's all about perspective. If you're comparing it to 2018, yeah, absolutely 2019 was lackluster for PlayStation. It was a weak year compared to 2018 and 2017. But to me, it wasn't a complete wash because there was still some.
I feel like games. PlayStation didn't have any must-haves in 2019 for me. Like,
well, yeah,
and that's my reason for having the PlayStation 4. I'm getting it because I'm gonna play the must-haves. And so far, up until 2019, I played the must-haves.
But they ran with the narrative that all of these. But they ran with the narrative that all of these were must-haves. Like they ran with Days Gone. This is a must-have. They ran with Death Stranding. This is a must-have, and it's just like a lot of people was like, "No, it's not." Though. Like a lot of people, they just kind of like shut that shit down.
But they fanboys that you listen to. They extreme.
For a lot of Kojima fans, Death Stranding was a must-have.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But I'm a Kojima fan though. You feel me?
Fan. You what?
You
Death
feel me?
Was good.
Like,
it was a good game.
Metal Gear Solid changed my life, bro. Like that literally.
I feel that.
Like,
I feel that.
That's
one of the reasons why Death Stranding. That's one of the reasons why. Metal Gear Solid,
okay.
And that's one of the reasons why like a lot of people like kind of like didn't really give Death Stranding a chance because when they found out that it's not a Metal Gear Solid game, you know what I mean? Like people were going there expecting it to be like exactly like Metal, but no, it's a completely different game, right?
Chris.
It was a game where you deliver, you traverse and stuff like that, and it sounds boring. And when you look at gameplay, it looks boring. But when you actually play the game, it's actually engaged. You know what I mean? To me, the game, it's not a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. It's not like an amazing game. Like my final score for that game is an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a solid experience. It was something different.
Chris, what are your thoughts on
Go ahead, man.
What are your thoughts on it was Sony shit? It came out that like that
they weren't happy with it.
Yeah, they weren't because they were expecting something else.
Oh yeah, I've been that. I've been the fact that where did it chart? I think it charted at like
number 8
or something like number 8, right?
But yeah.
That and they also and they still haven't released any sales numbers. Like you know what I mean? Like Days Gone, they released like Days Gone sold a lot. Like Days Gone, like when it comes to sales, right? They put out sales for Days Gone's numbers, right? So when it came to sales, like Days Gone didn't flop, right? It just got a lot of mixed reviews when it came to like you know Metacritic and stuff like that.
But doesn't that kind of change? Yeah, but doesn't that kind of change the?
We're not even gonna do this.
Yeah, doesn't that change the narrative though? Like it's kind of like they be like, oh yeah, Sony is very up on their developers' ass, like they be all up in their ass and shit. But it was like they did what they expected to get from Kojima. They didn't get like they weren't there.
Yeah, expectations. It's all about expectations.
Because they gave because this is what happened. They gave Kojima like unlimited like freedom.
Yeah, they
like
gave
to
him the bag.
design whatever he wants. And Sony, right? Assuming that he was gonna make, for how well he's known in the industry, and also how well the
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid series is received,
Mhm.
right? Because Metal Gear Solid is like one of my favorite series of all time. That shit's amazing, right? Sony figured, okay, he's gonna make a game that's gonna appeal to the masses, and it's gonna
Yeah.
do very well sales wise. But since a lot of the money, like the budget, went into all these actors, right? Like Mads Mikkelsen,
Oh
Norman
yeah.
Reedus,
True.
Leia Sado, and stuff like that, that drove the budget like through the roof. And the type of game that he made which was completely unique and different. That wasn't gonna appeal to the masses. Like the people who like Metal Gears and who like those action games, assuming that this was gonna be one of that, were disappointed.
Yeah,
So
shit
that's why
are
the
a
game
horror
Well,
didn't
at
game.
really
least the
sell a
game,
whole
at
lot.
least the game wasn't like a total failure of a game. That's the thing. Like, yeah, it has mixed
Yeah, no, it
reviews,
wasn't.
but at least Kojima
It's at
didn't
an
pull,
82.
he didn't pull a Cliffy B and like did that Outriders bullshit where he got like a lot of money to make that game and it flopped. It was DOA.
Right. But but this is what I always like about Sony, because we've been hearing a lot about like a lot of rumors about like Kojima's next game, that it can be a horror game or something like that. This one thing that I kind of like about Sony is that a game would not do good and it will flop, but they will still give a lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times they'll still give that developer another chance.
Yeah,
Like
give him
to get
another
it
Yeah, of
right.
chance.
course.
But
They
hold
probably
on, a
shrank the
lot of those
budget a little
developers
bit.
to no other like different publishers though. They keep it at a certain like economic. You know what I mean? Kojima not gonna go to anybody. He gonna keep it economically right. So he gonna
Yeah.
go to like a
Right.
Japanese publishing. So with
Yeah,
that,
like he gonna go
you
to the
gotta
folks that know
understand
that's
that.
gonna give him the bag. Like that's
Nah,
what it
he
is.
he just gonna like economically, keep it in the same region. You know what I mean?
And
Sometimes,
yeah, and
let's just keep it real. Like he ain't gonna go
And
out.
Kojima, right? And Kojima always loved, like, his relationship with PlayStation has always
Yeah.
been
Right,
great.
right,
Like, he
right,
always loved, like
right. They
he
got a
wanted
good
every
relationship.
Metal he wanted every Metal Gear game to be an exclusive. The reason why Metal Gear Solid 5 wasn't an exclusive, it wasn't due to Kojima's choice. It was because of Konami's choice.
Yeah,
They wanted
Konami's
that to
true.
sell more. They wanted it on PC, Xbox,
Mm-hmm.
so they can reach the maximum profit. But if it was Kojima's way, he would have just made it like stay with like PlayStation, made it
See,
more.
I can't stand developers that have these
Yeah, but
infatuations with fucking publishers. Why don't you just go ahead and sign with them? Don't be independent then. If you're only gonna make games for them anyway, it's like
Because it doesn't make any sense. Because Death Stranding's going to PC and all of that
Well,
shit, and I know
royalties,
that, like
man.
that isn't the
yeah, who put them up to that idea?
yeah like
Yeah, the corporate overlords, man. They there.
So,
They probably made that decision because like once they started seeing, because the game was actually
I don't have an issue.
developed. The game was actually developed super fast. I remember, I think it was Mark. Yeah, it was Mark Cerny who actually said this a couple years ago. He said when he first saw a demo of Death Stranding, he said he couldn't believe on how fast he said that's one of the
Yeah.
fastest that he's seen being developed. So once they seen like what type of game it was gonna be, they probably thought, well, this probably ain't gonna sell that much. So let's put it on PC. So we, you know what I mean? Let's
Like,
put it on
just like
PC.
that
So we
shit
can,
is so weird. Like hearing that though, shit is just like they were surprised and disappointed with the game that he crafted. It's just like, I mean, weren't y'all like
Overseeing the
sales.
game. Like, you guys were there,
Yeah.
seeing what he was making. What's
I don't
the...
think shit it was sales. They said that they were surprised by the game.
Yeah, but they
Like,
were
shit, it was
there
like the-
overseeing
yeah.
development of it too. So like,
Yeah.
why would you be shocked
It
at
was some
something
money.
that you knew was coming out?
It was the money, because they had all this shit. Like I went to go look up the rumors about all that stuff that was going on about him being locked in a room and the shadows and people was tickling his feet and all this old.
Hey, yo, go ahead, bruh.
But yo, do you understand that all of this came from that guy that praised him all the time? Like all of these rumors came from this one guy, and everybody ran with it. I did not know this. Like I didn't even really care to look until recently. I'm like, yo, all these rumors came from this one guy, Keeley. Like, and people actually believe it. They like, yeah, he got stuck in the room and I was like, oh my god, bro,
Nah,
like,
but
this is ridiculous.
the thing about it
But
is people on the inside came out and said that stuff like that was going on. But the way I see it is, I kind of think I think it was like
I
both
could
sides
not
that were
find
doing
them.
some stuff. Like
I would.
for example, like yeah, Konami was up his ass and was like trying to get him to hurry up because Kojima he was taking his time and he was driving up the freaking cost of Metal Gear Solid 5.
Mm-hmm.
Like that,
I can
right?
understand that though.
Right. So they're like, yo, you know what I mean? Like they like they'll being aggressive with him, like yo, like what the hell? Like hurry up and stuff like that. That's when Metal Gear Solid 5 came out. Like it felt unfinished. Like there was like a
Yeah.
whole nother
But
chapter
look
that
how
wasn't
long
added.
and
You know
how
what I mean?
long it took him to get that little bit of fucking content though. Like, yo, it wasn't worth it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like,
Hold on, what do you mean?
it shouldn't take that long. Like, he need to. Like, what I'm saying is, if a lot of that shit. Like, when I was doing missions, and I would like, all right, so let's say for instance, I'm trying to get technical if I can remember. But a lot of that stuff was like after you finish, like you would do the same mission, you just had to do it differently or some shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
don't know, man. Like,
Nah, yeah, you talking about chapter 2.
yeah,
There was 4 or 5 story missions that were an exact repeat of like
Yeah.
the in chapter
right.
in
Like I
chapter
didn't
1.
like that either. Though.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
they pulled a
not
Bungie.
me neither. And but the rest of the missions after that were different. So the mistake that was
I
made
couldn't
there
get
is
past that.
he should have just left those missions, right? That it was the same missions, but you had to do it like you had to do something different. You should have just left those as side missions.
Honestly, he
Like,
probably made it. He probably, when he was working on it, since they was rushing him, he had those as like placeholders, side missions, and it was like, no, you gotta get this damn game out of here.
No.
And then he forgot to go back and change him.
You know what though?
Right.
That's all he do is produce these cinematic scenes, bro. That's all he really do good. Like, and I noticed it when I was playing Castlevania
No, but he does
Lords of the
gameplay,
Shadows.
He
Yeah, he
does a lot
probably
of
do it.
gameplay.
He directed, but he don't do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was playing it. I'm like, yo, how the fuck I gotta take so long to get to the gameplay? And I noticed, like, you know what I mean? Like, it had Kojima Productions and Lord of the Shadows
Yeah.
1 and 2,
Well,
and I'm just like,
he's a movie guy. He wants to be a movie director that makes video games. If
Yeah,
that
and
makes
this
So
is
when
my
people
third.
rag on him, that's the thing. See, when people rag on him and shit, like I mean, that's one of the aspects about him that I actually do love. Because a lot of a lot of his favorite writers, directors are like foreign writer directors that I dig. So I understand what he's trying to deliver, but it's like when it comes to gaming, it's different. Like it's like you're not gonna be able to capture those nuances that you get in film like that to that degree. Like you may be able to get close, but it's like you're not gonna be able to capture that one for one. So it's like I get what he's trying to do with Death Stranding. Like he's into Tarkovsky and shit like that. Like I love Tarkovsky. So it's like I get it. I get where he's coming from as like a director and shit, and like I understand that part. So it's like it's just when it comes to like the like how Jeff Keighley sees him shit as like a god and shit like that. I'd be like, nah, you need to calm down with that bullshit. Like it's just like
I don't
because you're
idolize
propping,
nobody.
yeah, like because you're propping his head up
Only
to be
Jesus.
like this, to like this really big thing. You feel me? And then he feels like he can do whatever, and it's just like you need to reel this man back in and be like, look, you need to tighten this up, like for real, like.
I mean,
Yeah,
No, Dispatch Gaming. I don't know who Tarkovsky is. You're right. The rest of the channel doesn't know who that is.
Yeah, like I get that, but it's
look.
just like he's a foreign, like it's like Russian director, so I get it. Like I watch like a lot of old movies, so it's like I get what he's trying to deliver.
Let me
Grips watch old movies.
Let me give a
In the
shout out
sense
to
of,
the
like,
couple
tones.
people here on shout out to Twitch
Mixer?
Gallo. I'm not on Mixer right now. Galloway Road 93 for the follow. He said Fable 2 is fire, and then Tay's World is rating with a party of 10. Thank you.
Oh.
I guess that's a Twitch feature. And then of course the people on the tube. YouTube. How you guys doing? Checking out some names. DL Mighty Spartan God.
Spartan God.
We have Fricks Dispatch Gaming. Jason Elliott. I do want to move along a little bit on the
Yeah, we kind of went on
some of
a
the topics.
Yeah.
So apparently
My bad.
a hacker got a hold of AMD's was it their
like the Microsoft stuff, right?
their benchmark, but it wasn't just Microsoft stuff was included.
It
in
was
it.
fuck. I don't have it in front of me. But
I've retweeted
it's something
it.
21. Like it's something.
No, Navi.
21.
Well,
Navi 21,
Navi
which
10
is
and Navi 21.
Yeah, which is architecture for the new GPUs coming out this this holiday season.
And
So-
he got like the Series X
benchmarks and
benchmarks
stuff.
or some shit.
So he threatened that he'll leak them if he said he wants $100 million, and if he doesn't get the cash, he's gonna leak
Hold
it.
on, it says she.
Or she. Yeah,
Oh,
my
she.
bad. I thought a guy would do
Oh.
something this stupid, but
Well, hold on. Well, I'm just reading it right here real quick because I just googled it. It says AMD is the chip maker behind PC graphics cards and the Xbox Series X. The company said that the subset of its test files for the upcoming hardware was hacked. The hacker is demanding $100 million, or she'll leak everything.
yeah.
AMD says that the files aren't critical and is working with authorities.
That's crazy.
It's like what
man.
dork nerd does that? Like
He's the dork nerd. Like,
Dork and nerd.
yeah,
It honestly doesn't make any sense to
Yeah.
leak it anyways because of a lot of what AMD's been talking about anyways.
Yeah.
It's out there for
Yeah.
people like us to extrapolate the data
Yeah,
based
absolutely.
on what they're talking about. So like to leak a couple of numbers that we essentially already know about at this point in time in terms of what AMD has planned for the rest of this year and what's inside the Xbox, it's just irrelevant, honestly. And that's why this isn't like that big of a story. Whoever this hacker, this quote unquote hacker is, they're definitely looking at getting some legal action taken against them or criminal action taken against them.
Oh yeah. They're
Oh,
gonna
definitely.
they're gonna. She ain't gonna get no 100.
no,
If I was AMD,
they
I
not
wouldn't
about
even
to
budge.
pay her that, bruh. Like they about to
100
send
million.
Charlie's Angels after this, bruh, and they about to get her. Like it's done for.
But she's dumb. What do
he
you
has a
think?
bum
Okay.
move.
Okay, I'm gonna demand 100 million. Okay, yeah, sure, we'll pay you. Okay, 100 million. Boom, the cops come running at your door. Like, what are you gonna like? How you gonna like? It's just dumb.
Yeah, it'd be like them
Yeah.
dumbass dudes in movies who be like, they be like, what's your ransom, Joan? They be like, I need a helicopter, bro. They can literally shoot that shit out the sky, or they can track you with it. Where you gonna
They
go
gonna-
with this chopper?
They gonna lock up and force her to work on technical support. Dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
They
They
Nah,
gonna.
I wouldn't.
No, that's
I
what
wouldn't trust her.
that's what cop when they get like a hacker, they'll lock them up and then they'll make them like hack into like drug dealers, like big time drug dealers and shit, hack into their shit so they can bust like the bigger people and shit like that. That's happened plenty of times
Yeah.
before.
I'm
so-
I'm pretty sure this person isn't even that great of a hacker. Like,
Probably
they
not.
Probably found a back door or something like
Nah,
that.
they
but
probably went to
they're
fucking
not elite.
GitHub. Paste bin.
Thousands off the internet. Like,
Yo, shout out to Gaming with Persona. That's my guy right there.
Yeah.
What up, Persona?
Oh, Persona in the building.
Oh.
Oh, Persona.
Persona, yeah. Well, oh yeah, what's up, Persona?
Well, shout out to Persona and Jay Barnes.
I used to go to war with him back in the day. Facebook days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they jumped
Those
up
were the
Big Ned
days.
Day one.
Bruh, that's
You know what I
crazy.
mean? Since the beta with me.
What the-
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't really think like nothing. I mean, even if they leak it, I mean, it's probably not gonna. I don't think AMD is probably gonna be too worried about it.
Nah, I just
they're not.
I just
It's like,
thought it was stupid. That's
thank
all
you
I
for
thought. I just thought
marketing.
it was
Thank you for marketing our shit for us ahead of time. Let's go.
So they're already coming out with another architecture.
Well, so what's inside the next gen consoles right now? RDNA 2.0. We're only getting a hint of what the actual desktop cards are gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
come holiday season. So like,
Yeah.
you got a 12 teraflop GPU inside the Xbox. You have a 10 teraflop GPU inside of the Sony shit, right? With 52 compute units. Like, if they make a 64 compute unit card, like that's just gonna be a beast.
Oh
Damn, that's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm just waiting right now to see what kind of desktop parts they're gonna come out with at the end of this
And
year,
we'll
because I
see.
plan on
Yeah.
building a brand new PC.
And we'll
No,
see
true.
that
Hey,
on
did you
we'll see
guys?
that
Go
we'll
ahead.
see
Go
that
ahead.
technology on the PS5 Pro and the Xbox Series XX or whatever.
Yeah, the
Nah, they're
double
not
X.
doing should make gens. Well, at least Microsoft said.
They really don't
Phil
need to.
said
Yeah.
he's not. Yeah, he said he wanted to come out strong out the gate with something powerful, so he didn't have to do make gen
Once some
refreshes.
once some 8K TVs comes in, and I understand that these consoles can quote unquote upscale to 8K.
Yeah.
But once some 8K TVs come around, they start becoming cheaper. They're probably gonna refresh the gen. I think so. I
Depends,
know it's
because
Sony.
right now there's no real hardware out there that
Yeah.
supports 8K, and there's no 8K
Remember,
content.
there's not even 4K cable. Like,
Right.
like you know
But
what I
they're already
mean?
Yeah, like
talking
over
about
the air, still 1080i over
Yeah.
the air. We
Yeah.
still have
Like you,
to
But they're already
get everybody on 4K. We have to get everybody on board for that first.
yeah, like you still kind of see like the slow to roll out for 4K. Like ain't nobody about. Like I looked up an 8K TV the other day. I was like, fuck that TV. Like so, it
Yeah,
was
like
just like that TV.
my local
I'm
Best Buy,
not
like
buying it.
we have a 8K Samsung 75-inch offer display. The
Like
purpose
yeah,
of these
4K
current
60 is fine
8K
for me.
Yeah, the purpose of these current 8K TVs out right now is to be able to give you bigger sizes with the pixel
Mhm.
density of 8K.
Yeah,
Because once you buy a 4K TV and you're looking at anything from 75 inches and beyond, you're overcropping that image because you don't have that many pixels on the
facts.
display. So it's not as sharp as like your 65 or 55-inch 4K
Mhm.
TVs. And
True.
all they're doing right now with 8K is just upscaling 4K content to 8K. So
Yep,
Gotcha.
yeah,
that
all of
makes
it
sense.
is upscale.
So
Yeah.
the other thing, also, did you guys see the? Hold on.
And I feel like that's why they're probably doing the whole series S and X. Like you put out the stronger one first, and then you put out the lower, more budget one. I mean, like it makes sense. Like there would be no need to put out like a third console. It'd be like, yeah, this one's
Well, yeah,
like
but
and I
not
don't think
anytime
2%
soon. It's
stronger
like
than
three,
the
4
fucking
years
like.
later.
I don't think they're gonna do the S anymore due to the whole reason, like this whole coronavirus thing and the way it's unfolding right now. I don't think they're gonna do an S. I think they're just gonna stick with the X. Drop
Like
the
I'm
most
still
powerful
hearing
shit. That's it.
shit about it though. Like I mean,
I
Brandon
think
Speaking
they
of
have
that,
it.
speaking of that, to that point, being that you brought it up, because Satya Nadella just had an interview, and he confirmed that they don't their stuff is on track to like launch this fall. Like they don't foresee any delays. The only thing he
Yeah.
questioned was not more so if they'll have the availability. Availability would be there, just more so how the American and the European markets, would be doing. The state of that, the demand is
Yeah,
probably
how
going to
to
be much
respond.
lower than what it would have been had it not been for this virus. But
It
And
depends.
Sony
Because
and Sony doubled down too. I think it was yesterday. They updated their website and they said the PS5 coming this holiday. So they're doubling down too on this holiday.
I want to see the damn
I don't
console.
think the demand's gonna be low for the simple fact that if this does continue, people are just gonna stay home. So you
Yeah,
need some source of
yeah, but people
entertainment
are going
on
to run
top of
out
the fact that we
of
have this.
money. Like,
Well,
Yeah, so they're
that's why they're passing the stimulus
Yeah.
bill to
Yeah.
reinforce unemployment, because there's gonna be a huge demand for unemployment.
yeah.
It's like people need to
Yep.
get their money some way somehow, right? You have that.
yeah.
What,
'Cause the bills
$1,000 stimulus
ain't
check?
gonna stop. The bills ain't gonna stop. The bills ain't
Yeah,
gonna
you
slow
still gotta
down.
pay your
Everything.
bills,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of talks around like suspending certain bills or forgiving if you're late on a particular bill at that point in time as well, not getting those late charges. So
Yeah.
yeah.
this is a very nuanced situation. I think the demand is still gonna be there no matter what. Like people can buy like $300 Gucci belts and like $200 Jordans. So like
I mean, like who the
you
fuck?
definitely buy a console.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, who the fuck is buying that right now? You're an idiot. But
Yeah.
I mean, I get what you're saying. So like, I get it. Like, this is like a fucking waste.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's really tough to manage. I think It was one of the things I wanted to talk about, but it just left my mental. It left my mental. About the I think the C virus has obviously changed rollouts and marketing of how they wanted to do things. I think
Oh yeah.
they wanted to do different, because Microsoft, they still revealed the things how they wanted to reveal them. They probably would have done them differently in terms of staging. Like Microsoft was supposed to have an event next month in April for an official reveal event for the Xbox Series, and I think that's when we would have learned about Lockhart. But obviously, people can't really travel and have large gatherings. So it's like, do they still do that? Are they going to still do it a traditional way, or are they just going to wait until their E3 replacement? And how's that going to go? They said they were going to do a digital show.
Here's what they can do, which is very effective.
Go ahead.
You just do it through YouTubers and streamers, like how you did with Austin Evans and Digital Foundry. Like you just get the system in people's hands to actually market it for you. That's free advertisement right there in itself.
Facts.
I'm still like astounded at how these companies don't understand that these influencers on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, they provide you with that user base to tap into. And like you look at 100 Thieves, for example, right? And what they did with Chipotle recently, and having that whole little partnership. So you go on Twitch, you open up a stream. Oh, it's Nate Shot and Chipotle. Like that's free advertisement for Chipotle to tap into gamers to deliver Chipotle to their home or to their job, whatever it may be. You could do the same thing with Sony. Can do the same thing. Get the PS5 into people's hands, let them demo it, play it. Talk about the system, just like Austin Evans did with the Xbox Series X. Like,
showcased its features and everything.
Yeah, you can't host events. Like, you can't host a physical event, so you can do live streams. You can.
Yeah, but the thing is, I get, but how do you do it? Because remember, like when Austin Evans and Digital Foundry went out to Microsoft, pretty much the campus, to like demo the box and whatnot. They did that right before like the virus broke through. You know what I mean? So they really can't do that now. They gotta ship them the console or something like that. Well,
you have controlled environments where you're able to have content creators come out. You screen them for the virus initially. You have to take proper precautions.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a hassle, but you can make it work. And you got to think about it, like having your own event where you're staging consoles and you're broadcasting costs money. This is actually a cheaper way to do that and still get the momentum going and keep it.
Like the guy who played Joel, he's still getting voice acting jobs. I forgot his fucking name. It escapes
Troy
me.
Baker.
Yeah, Troy Baker. Like he's still getting jobs. He was one of Harris's podcast, and he was like, I mean, he's still getting jobs. The only thing is that there are things that you have to do coming into a studio. Like, so they'll be like, oh yeah, bring your own headset, bring your own microphone. Like everything is disinfected. Like they'll tell you like the things that you have to do before you come in, and it'll probably the shit is not like a full staff in the studio. It's probably like one sound person in there, and then it's you. And so he said that he's bringing all his own gear to studios now, where he's doing voiceovers.
And even if he didn't have to go to the studio, I'm pretty sure he can do it straight from home.
And just send the MP3, the WAV file. Yeah.
Voice acting. I'm not saying the podcast. No,
he's doing the podcast. Voice acting. Yeah, no, voice acting he can do from home as well if he really wanted to.
Yeah.
He can be in constant communication with these people and sending the files to them as he's recording each line.
No, that makes sense.
That open dialogue.
That makes sense. It's just like rap.
But is the equipment the same though?
They can edit that. You can edit that. You can edit that. Like, all he has to do is
record. I'm sure he probably has like some type of setup, like a microphone in his bathroom or something like that. You know what I mean?
No, but I'm saying like when I used to record, like okay, we would have like the hood setup record. And we would try to do our best to get the best sound quality out of it. But then, when we went to a studio, we saw that whole operation was
you have a studio quality microphone. You can just send the audio file to them, and then they can edit it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like they could doctor it up.
I'll tell you this, because I used to do music too. I mean, I used to do music too, like seriously, not the parody stuff I've done, like put out like mixtapes and do other people's music. And half the time, like people that wanted to collab with me, I mean, I would record like my part and then it's MP3 or send them a WAV file for them to record over, and then they'll send it back and we'll mix it down. Whoever had the better recording, but these are rich guys. Troy Baker ain't no poor man on like a hood studio. He has Pro Tools and all this other stuff that's necessary.
Hey, speaking of music, Smooth.
Yeah.
When we gonna get a part 2 of Halo, Gears, and Forza, bro?
We don't need a part 2. We don't need a part 2. We might get. Oh my god.
When we gonna get another Switch game? The 1-2 switch. J-Man and Kofi is a 1-2 bitch. That's what he said. That's his words.
I remember that.
Yo, that was dope. I ain't gonna lie. Those battles were dope. Yo, I ain't gonna lie.
That was fire. Hey, yo, that beat that you have.
Yo, this man said put that shit in the trash, man.
Yo, that beat has a lot of bass, man. That Halo Gears and Forza, that beat.
Yo, that Halo Gears
and Forza beat is Lil Yachty's Minnesota beat. You ever heard Lil Yachty? It get just like Minnesota. Call like Minnesota.
I never heard of that. I don't listen to Lil Yachty.
Yeah. I don't listen to him either, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do something with that. And that's why I did Halo Gears and Forza. But yeah, no, I'm always open to do those rap battles and stuff that we were doing. The Switch one was fun, yo. Yeah, new generation. Yeah, the new generation is probably the best time to do it. Whoever from PlayStation that wanna bring these bars, go. Let's do it. My man, he remember that line though. The 1-2.
Yeah, that just was fire. I listened to those tracks. Because I seen it on like one of my YouTube feeds. I was like, oh snap! I forgot like Kiss Me made these songs, and it was like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah, I didn't even know that he made these songs though. Like I mean, I heard of the Halo Gears and Forza Jones, but I didn't hear the 1-2 switch Jones.
I remember the Switch game.
That 1-2 switch line was fire. He said that 1-2.
I wasn't here, bro. That's crazy.
Hey, Smooth, you were that J-Bane and guy Kofi, right?
Yeah, it was the first. It all started. It all started because I did the Nintendo. Like I did I went after
the Switch game. Right?
It was Switch game, but I was like Kofi. What's that dude? Doc Trey.
He was in it.
Blandrew. The first song I did, and then Kofi came back. But J-Man, I don't think I've ever mentioned even J-Man. He bought J-Man on the song. And the J-Man, and everybody was hyping J-Man up because J-Man, he can rap. And I'm like, okay. I was like,
it was a nice battle, dog. Like, that shit was entertaining.
Yeah.
That's tight. Like, that's tight.
None of y'all come out with a track since, but we got a new generation coming up.
Yeah, so it's an advantage, Joe. Like it's an opportunity. I find different like inspiration points to get me. Like the new generation, I could actually go off because the Xbox Series X is more powerful. I could actually go ham on people if I want
to.
Come out
there. Yeah, but you gotta come out there. You gotta be big, like.
But what else do we have here? We talked about AMD. We talked about them avoiding the delay, bleeding edge, and then we had a lot of side stuff. Is there anything else that we guys getting into? What's going on for the week? Any upcoming releases should we keep our eyes on? I'm probably going to be streaming Bleeding Edge and fairly soon after the podcast. I'll see if anybody's still down to play.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. There hasn't been much news. I mean, aside from the huge blowout last week.
Yeah.
But the Resident Evil 3 demo came out.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that real quick. So I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. I have all the Resident Evils on my PlayStation 4. Like I bought all of them. Mm-hmm. I've platinum Resident Evil 1, the remake, and Resident Evil 2 remake. Mm-hmm. So Resident Evil 3. I love that whole franchise. So I'm playing the demo, and it's using it. Of course, it's going to use the same exact engine as Resident Evil 2. So the graphics are top notch, on point. Mm-hmm. Jill, she looks absolutely great. There's some people complaining about how she looks, but I think she looks absolutely fine.
Yeah, she looks
She
fine.
looks, yeah, and her outfit is definitely more realistic because that's one of the things people complain about because in the original she wore a skirt, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But it's like, come on, man, it's like let's be realistic. Like you ain't gonna be running around in the zombie apocalypse if you're an officer, right, in a
Yeah,
skirt.
that's all them creeps,
So
bro. It's all good. That's them
yeah,
creeps.
yeah,
Like,
but as far as the gameplay, Jill's a little bit, just a tiny bit, a little bit faster than Leon and Claire. I like the new dodge mechanic. At first, I thought that the dodge mechanic was going to make the game easier, but it actually doesn't because the timing is real tight for you to get a perfect dodge. Because even if you dodge, but if you mistime it, you could still get grabbed.
hmm
One thing they changed is as far as the demo, we don't know how the final game is going to be like. But there is really no defensive items for when you get grabbed. Like in Resident Evil 2, if you get
yeah,
grabbed,
Yeah, the
you can
knife,
use your
right?
knife. Yeah, you can use your knife to get off them, or you can use a grenade. You stick it in the mouth and then you push them off. This one it doesn't have that. That could change in the final release. She could get her signature taser like from Resident Evil 1 back to get them off. But I think they might do it like that because you have the dodge now. You know what I mean? So
yes,
it's easier
yeah,
to it's a little bit easier to get away. As far as Nemesis, yo, Nemesis is a beast, man. I played the demo at least like 5 times. And yeah, Nemesis is going to be a problem, especially for a lot of people who complain about Mr. X. He's a lot more
yeah.
aggressive. Like if you try to run away from him, he'll jump in front of you. He will grab you with one of his tentacles, pull you back from him. You know what I mean? Like he'll punch you and stuff like that. If you're like on the other side of like a rail and stuff like that, he can't get to you. He'll do like this loud roar where it'll like stun
hmm
you for a little bit.
Yeah, stuns you.
Yeah, and he just constantly running after you and constantly he's just a menace. He's exactly what I hope he should be. The demos that I played it on normal, but I'm pretty sure like I'm gonna play it on hard because I'm gonna go for the platinum. So I'm pretty sure it's probably gonna be a lot harder on hard, obviously. But yeah, man. Overall, the game is great. Some people are complaining about her stab animations, like that she pokes. But if you play Resident Evil 1, that's how Jill always stabs. She always stabs with a
hmm
poke, and Chris always stabbed with a slash, right? And in Resident Evil 2, they stabbed with slash, but she always did the poke. So people were complaining about that, and there was some a little bit less details from from 3 to 2 because in 3 she has this light on her shoulder, this flashlight. But when you turn around, right, the light is like if you turn her around, the light is still facing where the camera is, so it looks like
hmm
unrealistic. Versus in Resident Evil 2, they actually had a flashlight in their hand. You know what I mean? When they
Yeah.
were turning it around. So overall, I
Okay.
think it's great. I can't wait for the game. Definitely gonna platinum it. The Resistance beta is coming out. I think it's gonna be available everywhere on the 27th, which is the multiplayer. So if everybody want to check that out, you can. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I already got a pre-order on Amazon. I got a great deal for it for $40, and I can't wait. And it's an
Dang.
appetizer. And it's
Whoa,
an
whoa,
appetizer
whoa. Hold,
to
hold up.
Game of the
Hold
Year.
up. Hold up. You said you got a
Final
deal
Fantasy
for it
7.
for $40?
Yeah, well, because it's on pre-order right now, Amazon for $50, and I'm a new well, I just got like an iPhone with Sprint,
Oh,
and I
okay.
have they gave me the Amazon like Prime thing, and so they gave
Oh
me like
yeah.
a $10 credit, so I used it with Resident Evil, so I'm getting it for $40. But
Well,
yeah,
I'm
it's a
about
great
to have to do
appetizer.
that.
Yeah, it's a great appetizer for Game of the Year, which is gonna come out the week after, which is FF7 remake. Y'all know I had to get that in there. But that's my overall thoughts. If anybody wants to go.
No, when I played the demo, like I dug it. Like I didn't find, like I thought I would find Nemesis more like just like imposing, I guess. But I mean, like he was funny. Like I was laughing the whole time fucking with him. Like I was just like, damn, this is hilarious. Like it's just like I mean, like I already like what the deal is. So like I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I've just kind of like grown a lot when it comes to like horror games because at first like a long while ago, like, never touch them. Shit, but like
What to
these
me?
last couple years,
Yeah.
like I've touched so many horror games. I just been like, fuck it. Like and it's just like it's weird because it's like Silent Hill is like one of my favorite franchises. So it's
Yeah.
like
That's
in
hard.
the horror genre. So it's like
Yeah.
yeah.
To
So
me,
like when it
Resident.
just
Yeah.
comes. Huh?
Resident Evil, I don't really like. Yeah, it's a survival horror genre,
Yeah,
but to
yeah,
me, they've been more suspense rather than like actual like horror. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
See,
and to me, like
it's
for example, like Resident Evil 2 remake, it was like I would say like the atmosphere and like like the
yeah,
locations, like the atmosphere is like it's like creepy and like scary, but it's not like horror. If you get what I mean, it's not like
yeah. No, 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 no,
horror
no.
like
I
a
get what you
silence.
mean. Like suspense and like
Resident Evil
thrillers
7 was hard to me.
and
That was
horror.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
like
It
they
was a
yeah,
create
that
good
was
one
more
though.
horror. I agree.
Yeah.
exactly. Like it brought it back and they crafted that engine with like I mean 7 in mind obviously, so it's like when they made the RE engine, so it's just like when they did bring that back and it did like it really did bring like a lot of people back into Capcom's like into their vibe, like their circle and shit. Like it did a really good job at delivering like that suspenseful tense as like you're like sweating a lot because I still haven't even beat 7 because it's just like it really like I beat remake
Oh
2
yeah,
like fucking 4 times. 7 I have not beat yet because I just get the sweats, like the sweats be heavy in that junk. I'll be like, bro, I can't right now. Like so I be turning that junk off like real heavy, but it's but yeah, like just the demo shit. I liked how Nemesis moved. He's obviously allowed to do a lot more, and since the tech is more capable now from the OG version, and it's just like I mean it's really inviting to have like a character like who can kind of keep up with you and like get at you, like grab you. Because Mr. X, I was fucking around with him too. Like I ain't give a fuck about
yeah.
Mr. X. Like he didn't even bother
And you
me.
also
Like
gotta
I was
and you also gotta remember Nemesis, like throughout the game, Nemesis is gonna have more weapons. Like we've seen him with a flamethrower, we've
yeah,
seen him with
yeah.
the
Like
of
he
course he's
gets
gonna have the rocket
more
launcher.
stuff to get you
Yeah,
with. So it's like,
them long little tentacles kind of like, oh man.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
Yo,
but
that Joe.
so how do y'all feel about the whole automatic grab? I couldn't even really use a knife like I did on the previous one, though, bro.
the what? What you
Like,
call it? What you
like
say?
the way that like I was using a knife, like I couldn't.
Well, the knife.
I had to-
Well, the knife. This is how you use the knife in like Resident Evil games, right? Like Resident Evil 1 and like this one, Resident Evil 3. Um, you're supposed to like shoot the zombie first until they fall, right?
right.
If you want to shoot them in the leg or shoot them in the head until they fall, and then you walk up to them, take out your knife, and then you finish the job.
But you know what I did though, Chris? I put it on like I thought it was on a hard difficulty. I thought it was, and I was trying to reserve, so I automatically went in like that. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, hold on, like nah, I gotta shoot these motherfuckers. Like,
I
because every time I would try to stab them, I would get grabbed. I'm like
Yeah,
No, but you get a
automatic
lot of
grab.
yeah.
Like,
You get a lot of ammo in the demo. Like the demo gives you a lot of ammo. Like
yeah.
that's
and
true.
To
That's
craft a
true.
lot of ammo. Yeah, it does.
then
Once I
when you
seen
get the
that.
shotgun as
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I played the demo. I thought it was cool. I got through it in 20 minutes, no deaths.
No deaths.
I saw.
There you
Let's
go.
I saw. No. I should have streamed it though, because I was surprised. Like I saw the little was he was it
though, right?
not the I streamed Resident Evil 2. I didn't stream Resident Evil 3. The demo to that game. So what I did was when I played it, like I kind of like just as soon as I ran into Nemesis, I ran. I didn't try to fight him. I didn't swing, didn't shoot him, nothing. I ran. But he kept like doing his super leap. And
Yeah.
he just kept appearing in front. I thought that was weird because it didn't seem natural. And then I just kind of just ran from him until I got to the fire hydrant.
Yeah, the fire hydrant.
Yeah, so but I was surprised 'cause I expected to like die on encounter, but yeah, like
Yeah, no,
is
like,
is
I guess
he?
I did too.
I never played a Resident Evil 3 like the classic edition. Like, is that somebody? Are you supposed to kill him in the game, or is he just like Mr. X, where you just spend the entire time running from him? Or
Well, not in the original. You can down him, right? And you can do it in the demo too. You can if you shoot him enough time, or he also has a weak spot like in the middle of his chest. It's like a piece of his like heart sticking out or something like that, right? Where
Yeah.
you shoot it and it actually like electrifies him.
Yeah.
But in the original, what happens is you could shoot him and down him, and like he will fall down, right? You won't die permanently until obviously you reach the end of the game. But the benefits for that is he will drop like weapon mods and
Mm-hmm.
modifications to like improve like the weapons you have, or he'll drop like unique weapons and stuff like that. So in the demo, he didn't do that, but that could be just a demo thing. And in the final
No,
game,
but they
if you're
said
able to
that's a
down him,
thing though. That's a
oh,
thing.
okay, yeah,
So it's going to incentivize you downing him to get
so, yeah.
better like
So
gear.
you
So
can't,
it's a
yeah. So you can't kill him. Like you can't officially kill him early on until like the final,
yeah,
obviously the
till the
final
end.
fight. You
This is
know,
like
but
story
yeah, you
beat
could
stuff.
definitely down him and potentially get, a bonus items for doing it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's just there to annoy you for real. Like he's just gonna be on your ass. So Mr. X, he wasn't as aggressive or agile. Like so, it's like because Nemesis is just like a better built version of that. So it's like he's gonna be able, like he's gonna be the should be able to jump in front of you, like and dash and run towards you and shit like that. And that's what I
Yeah.
was worried about because I remember the original. So it was like, but you understand the limitations of the hardware and
Yeah.
design and shit like that. So it's like when I saw him in this, like when I thought of him in this one compared to Mr. X, I was like, this nigga about to be running over everybody. Like that's what I thought. So I was all expecting that. So it didn't shock me when he was jumping up and like sitting like grabbing you. So I was like,
Yeah,
I
yeah, he
expected
will
you to be
run.
more
Yeah.
than Mr. X. Yeah.
Did you see what he does when yo, they made him into freaking Spider-Man? Because I've seen it a couple times where it's like like he'll jump and he'll there'll be like some walls where he'll like hang off the wall like
Yeah.
Spider-Man, and then he'll jump down. But also like when you see him, sometimes if you actually like look and pay attention,
Hmm.
when you see him jump, you see like he's shooting out a tentacle, right, to
Yeah.
grab onto like a building or something like that, and then that's how he's swinging. So it's like it made him like freaking Spider-Man, which is
So
kind of
he
cool.
digs his hands into the wall. That's what I'm thinking here. Like he digs the tentacle or like his fingers into the wall to hang there, and that makes sense too, because he is super strong. Like it makes sense. Like I want to see like more so curious about is the death animations like when he gets you. Like I mean, what does he do? Like, cause I know like one of the death animations. So, but it's like I mean, does he like grab her, just like pop her head like a grape
Yeah,
or
no,
some shit like that?
yeah,
Like
no,
that'd be some hard shit.
he has a move where it's in the demo where like he grabs Jill, right, like by the face, and he's like squeezing it. Like now, um,
Yeah.
if you have enough health, you can survive it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm guessing like if you're at like lower health, it's probably he's probably just gonna crush it. You
Yeah,
know what I
that's
mean?
dope. Like I fuck with that. Like I like the demo shit. I can't just wait for 3. I'm gonna pre-order that. Uh, I've been playing Doom Eternal. Like that drink is fire. Like loved it.
Oh yeah.
The gameplay's fast as hell, way faster than 2016. The Marauders are pieces of shit. Like so that's where I'm kind of like stuck at is like encounter with Marauder. I
Why does
hate this
everybody
guy.
hate them? I keep hearing
Son,
about like
like he's
Marauders.
like the Doom guy, bro. Like he's like a Doom guy, but he has a dog and an axe, and you're just like, bro, like so it is like you
And
have
the
to
shield,
keep him
right?
in mid range. Yeah, like you got to keep him mid range, and if you get too far away, he throws shit at you. If you get too close, he shotguns you. So you're trying to measure out like how close you are to him, but then like he'll just be, yo, I like I had to take a break, bro, because I knew like I'm not throwing controllers or nothing, but I could feel like the tense in me. Like I was like, I'm gonna take a break.
It's like a
So
game. It's like a game of chess. You gotta make the right moves.
yeah, like I was like I wanna, yo, like young. I thought he only sent out like cause I'm in the community on Reddit for Doom, and like everybody's like helping each other. Like they're really cool, great. Like and they're just telling people they're like yo, just stick with it. Like you got it, you good. Like I thought they would talk about the dog as like he only came out once. No, he'll spam that nigga. Like so after you kill him, he'll send out another dog. Like you're just like, okay. So this is what we're dealing with. So I was
Yeah.
just done for a minute.
That new Doom looks pretty good. Like I
Son,
remember
it's
I
great.
played the demo of Doom 2016, and I wasn't really feeling it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just like to me, it kind of seemed
Yeah,
like
dude, I think Doom is trash, but that's just me.
a little bit.
Damn.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like
Oh
a
my
little.
god.
But this new one looks like like you can do a lot more. Like there's a lot more variety and like combat and the gameplay. And well, maybe not the combat, but like the movement and like how you can move around.
No, the
And
combat like you're not about to just hop in here and just spray and pray. Like
yeah, the ammo
you
is
actually
limited.
have to think. Like they're
Yeah, it's
actually
different
making
this
you
time
think.
around.
Right,
Like
yeah. So
like is this
I
like
might pick it
2000?
up. Yeah, I might pick it up on sale or something. Like when it goes down to
Yeah.
like $20 or something like that. But
$20.
yeah, I mean, I don't buy every game I see.
You might as well go ahead. You might as well wait for it to come on Game Pass. Come on
I
now.
don't know. I don't know when the
Or
hell that's
PS.
gonna be.
Hold
I
on.
still
Better
got
yet.
to.
It'll be on
reinstall the
Game
first
Pass
one.
in about 3 months.
Hold on. It'll be on PS now before Game Pass, aka Control. Get at me.
True.
Let's go.
Yeah, I gotta
Yes,
reinstall.
now,
Like
the
that's
first
such a
one,
weird
but-
Let's
thing.
talk about that, Chris. Let's talk about that. Why you bring that up? Control went on PS now before Game Pass, man. They
You brought
taking.
that up. I brought that up the other. What was it, like 2 weeks ago? Right?
2 weeks ago,
I
yeah.
brought that up.
Oh my bad. All right. Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Like this is like
Don't
I
worry,
thought it was
I already
super
talked my
weird.
shit about.
What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Nah, see, I don't know what that is either.
Is that a
But it
button
was
though?
but I thought it was weird that like we heard like a lot of rumblings about it coming to Game Pass.
Yeah.
And then it comes to PS now. You're just sitting there, but you also got to understand that like there
It still
was
might
some
come to Game Pass.
yeah. But it's like after that, after those rumblings and like you had like somebody at Xbox said something, you saw like Remedy respond, and you knew that there was like some. I'm not gonna say bad blood, but it was like they weren't happy about it. So it's like when it came to PS Now, I wasn't shocked also because the DLC hits PlayStation first as well.
Oh
So
yes,
I'm not
time
shocked.
exclusive. Yep, time
Yeah.
exclusive DLC.
We'll see.
Which
I
is
mean,
bullshit,
I
man.
play.
Like, I don't like time exclusive DLCs.
Yeah, no, I
Like
don't fuck with
like
that.
they shouldn't. It shouldn't be like that on either side, on Xbox
Yeah.
and PlayStation. Like for example, like the whole thing with like Destiny, like when they had like
Yeah, that
a
was-
year deal, a
that was
year.
dirty.
exclusive.
Yeah. The Destiny's DLC deal was to the point where
Yeah.
by the time
Yeah, it
it
wasn't
came
even
to
a
it,
year.
the next game was already out, and it was
Right.
like, all right, you're not even
Yeah,
gonna play
it was
it.
only to certain. It was only to certain things in the game. It was
Yeah,
like
that
certain
shit is
guns and
so
shit like
dirty,
that.
dog.
But the DLC still came out at the same time,
No,
like Taken
there
King and
was
stuff like that.
no,
Like
there
I
was, no. There was,
I played it. I played the game all
Oh,
throughout
there's
its
raids
entirety.
that still ain't on Xbox. Like
No, the raids are there. Like all the raids are there. It's like certain
Oh, okay.
strikes and like guns, like exotics and shit.
Okay.
But in
Okay.
terms of like the main content, like the main content comes out on all platforms at the same time. But they don't do that anymore ever since Bungie left Activision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, yeah, now it
okay.
does. But I
Yeah.
remember Destiny 1, like it was like a big expansion
Yeah.
that was exclusive for a year.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't the
it
expansion.
wasn't the expansion,
It
it
was a
was-
strike. It was
it
a
was a strike,
strike from
yeah.
the expansion, and then like
Okay.
two or three exotic weapons.
Yeah. But
Yeah, it was
Strike
just like
lasts
Battlefield.
long though. Shit. Man,
Yeah.
those strikes.
all right,
And your Sega's on that bullshit with Yakuza right now.
Oh yeah, Dag Jones. Like
It's 60 cents for a new game plus. Was that it, or is that?
Yeah,
go up to like
that's crazy,
$9
man.
though.
That's
Max is
Sega
like
on that
$9.
bullshit.
I was trying to.
No,
get-
it's like
get
it goes
him
up to
bring
$7.
Judgment.
It
Goes up to
$7
$9.
in,
$9.
bro, for real, I
They
thought
can-
it said 7.
Yeah,
$9.
shit. I read 9.
They can bring Judgment to Chris. The developer for Neo was enough people want me to bring Neo to Xbox, I'll bring it if they retweet it. I swear to
Yeah,
God,
I don't have a problem.
'cause
I don't have a problem with
retweeted.
that.
I
don't have a
retweeted
problem
at
with
that
that.
time. Like, but you know what I mean? Of course, so nobody wanted. So
No,
You
shit.
know, a lot of
I-
these games-
Shit, I retweeted that. What you talking about?
oh, you remember?
Hell yeah.
I'm just saying.
I don't like
I'm
those
pretty
tweets.
sure it
Those
wasn't-
tweets
well, it
aren't
wasn't-
realistic.
Huh?
Say what?
Those tweets aren't realistic.
No,
Yeah.
it was legit from the. Well, yeah, I guess what you're saying is nobody really bring it if enough people retweet it, huh?
Yeah, like to gauge interest like that is just kind of like disingenuous, bro. Like it's just like it's like you'll do better doing what fucking Platinum did when they robbed all them people. So, I mean,
Nah, I think if it would have gained traction like most of these dudes do about Bleeding Edge and all that, much
Dude,
as they tweet
when
about
did you
that.
retweet it? Because I'm on your Twitter and I'm all the way down to freaking last week and I still don't
No,
see it.
that shit was like, I'm talking about the first one. This was the
that
first
was a minute ago.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like years
Oh
ago.
man, I don't want that bullshit.
Oh, the first Neo. Oh, you talking about Neo 1?
No, yeah, I'm talking about Neo 1. Like, this is a while ago.
Yeah. I mean,
Shit.
it still could come. You never know. I mean, because who would have
Nah,
thought?
fam.
That,
Like, nobody cared.
Who would have thought? No, but who would have thought the Yakuza games would have came?
Well,
Yeah,
true.
that too.
That's true.
I mean, I know
that-
you had the whole like I remember like every other month like there was always pictures of like Phil Spencer's like visiting Sega. You know what I mean? Like remember that smooth? It was like Phil Spencer over at Sega.
yeah.
Like he was always grinding it out up over there. He was trying to get the up over here. So
Yeah,
I mean, don't they got like an exclusive game coming from a studio from what's that Telltale Life is Strange?
They did.
Yeah. Don't nod. They're doing Tell Me Why. That comes out in the summer.
Yeah. Tell me why. Yeah.
Right. Like, yo,
Yeah.
tracking a lot of
Hello?
Yeah, no, it's cut out. It cut out for a little bit.
Yeah,
but
it was cutting out.
I'm about ready to get out because I'm getting tired and I still want to stream Bleeding Edge.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to Planet Xbox episode 8. We'll be back here. I apologize for being late. We'll be back here next week. Same time frame. Well, no, it should be a little bit earlier, like 8:43 p.m. Eastern time. And we will be back on Mixer. Twitch got like a special show today by mistake. But I will be streaming. Shout out to Texas Lean. I will be streaming freaking Bleeding Edge shortly after on here on Twitch. So if you enjoy the show, make sure subscribe, hit the like button. Also follow me on Twitch now. I'm streaming there. Also follow me on Mixer. I'm always there as well. And follow me on Twitter if you want the daily entertainment. Anybody else got anything to say before we close out?
Peace everybody. Thanks Smooth and Panel. This is Dev Brooks. I'm out.
Yeah, yo, thanks everybody for watching. Shout out to the chat. Yo, everybody, hug your loved ones. There's a crazy thing going on right now. The world is really crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a great year for gaming, but it's a crappy year for the rest of the world. Shout out to I want to give a special shout out to OBJ the Don. He just lost his mother, so hey man, stay strong.
Shit.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, man. Be strong.
Yeah, prayers to him, man. Stay strong. And but everything else, man, yo, let's get back to gaming now that the specs are out the way, even though there's still people arguing about rumors, specs, and stuff like that, which is completely crazy. But there's a lot of games coming that's out right now, a lot of games coming out, and it's time for a slogan. If it ain't Sony, then you a phony.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Let's get it.
All right. Nick.
Yo, man. Yo, I'm gonna be on the Bleeding Edge, definitely. And I gotta finish up this Ori first, but I still want to jump on Bleeding Edge. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to jump on tonight, but I'm gonna try. But hit me up on Twitter, Xbox Live. You know what I mean? And shout out to the people that's out there actually playing the game before they, come to a conclusion to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'll let y'all.
YouTube sub boxes are broken.
Yeah, they are completely broken.
It really is
completely broken. Like I have to manually go into Kids Move's channel to even bring up the live stream.
Yeah, my YouTube, I can't even like when I launch from the control like this YouTube studio, I have to completely shut YouTube down and open up a browser and go to YouTube and /Kids Move to even get my page up. It's stupid.
Wow.
I posted it in our chat though, like changing shit now, bro. Like,
all right,
messed up right now.
Coke boy.
Everybody have a good night. Make sure you guys are safe out there. Don't buy too much into the news. you have to use great discernment when reading a lot of these articles and listen to a lot of these people say. So, take a lot of it with a grain of salt, but key on some of the most important things, especially the economy, the economic shit. It's very important. So, wash your hands, brush your teeth. Have a good night.
Yep. Like as everybody say, shout out to OBJ. Keep your head up, praying for your family. And everybody, yeah, be safe. To all those who are who fear that they're under like the C virus. We hope that you recover quickly, and just stay safe, stay clean, and just do your thing. Live, just live. All right. Thank you guys for watching. As always, Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. You guys, good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. I am out of here. Peace.